Welcome. I don't know why I banged my desk there. Probably not good. Not the most stable desk here. You're not looking at it with me, but I could definitely drop something, so gotta stop that. Gotta stop it. It's just SBF basketball gets me pumped. Alright, welcome. I did it again. Welcome. Didn't do it that time. Welcome to another deep dive with Jeffrey John. Today, it's a state of the franchise edition. I know, I talked about it a few weeks ago and then just didn't do it. We're here. We're finally starting them. Starting with the Sin City Chupacabras. I've got the salary cap channel pulled up on my phone. You guys are looking at my screen, so you guys can see their team. Now, please. Oof. Wow, this Cedric's not on this team. Okay, just keep that in mind. You guys are watching me move them live here. Keep in mind, this is on the new file. We had to purchase 2K22 under a new account because of so many glitches with the old account. So we had to grind and completely remake the league again. I mean, why not, right? It's not like we all have lives. Why not have to remake the entire league for the 15th time? So, like, my point of telling you all this is that there might be some mistakes, like Cedric should not be a Chupacabra. This is also not a spoiler. I don't think he's going to be a Chupacabra. There. He's off the Chupacabras. Let's look at the rest of this list. Salcu Joe Merce also not a Chupacabra. Neither's Alex Hayes. Neither's Kiere. Neither's Baki Galupi. Neither's Ben Adams. You guys want to just change this video? Instead of State of the Franchise, we can call it Jeff Cleans Up the League on stream. Up to you guys. I'm a man of the people. Here for you. Ben Adams, you're always causing me troubles. It's always you, Ben. One more, guys. One more. What these rosters do have, though, is it should be accurate with who's going to be leaving the squad. So if you go to Salary Cap Channel in the Discord, anybody with a 1-year contract should be off this team. So these are the players that are locked into the Chupacabras going to next season. Should be accurate. I'm looking at it now. Champ, Darnell, Cleveland. Champ, Darnell, Cleveland. Okay. Cassius, Tyson, Dante. Cassius, Tyson, Dante. That's accurate. Okay. So looking at this squad, okay, and the crazy part about it is this squad has the number 2 overall pick, okay? How insane is that? They got Jatavius Cleveland, who might be one of the most underrated big men in the league. At 7'2", he's quick, great defender, and he can score from the inside really, really well. He's just an overall paint beast. They got Champ Hansen. A lot of people don't know this. When Cassius Falls came into the league at 6'9", he was a point guard that the Chupacabras moved to small forward. He is a perimeter defending playmaker with the ability to score at the 3. So that is a pretty good defensive lineup. I mean, Champ's not the best defender, but he's capable. As you can see, I mean, A's across the board minus the B minus playmaking. Champ's capable of everything. He's just not amazing at anything. And I think that has something to do with only having 13 badges. I think that definitely hurts him. Same with Darnell Turner here. I mean, he's there too. So I talked about Jatavius, Champ, Cassius, and now you got Darnell. He's just a sniper, but with only 4 badges, it's hard to be a good sniper with 4 badges. So I think these Chupacabras are a case of just great talent. And that's why Cassius and Jatavius play so much better, is they got the badges. And now people wondered why Dante Martin Jr. looked good in live 51 badges. I think badges are pretty darn important for a lot of these AI players. They've got to have a lot of them. So that's their starting five right here. You got Dante, Darnell, Cassius, Champ, Jatavius. Their problem last season was scoring. They just didn't have good flow. Off the bench, they had Tyson Anthony, and I feel like he was a big difference maker for them. He's just a sharpshooter, okay? He's a 76 overall, yes, but last year's Chupacabras team, not this most recent year, but the year before, the Chupacabras inaugural season, they couldn't shoot the basketball. Absolutely couldn't shoot it. So Tyson Anthony helped a little bit, and I mean, I'm just gonna say it. This is state of the franchise. They have the number. All right, let's. I pulled up. I verified this. I'm gonna pull up their draft picks. We're gonna talk about that next because this is where it gets crazy if you're a Chupacabras fan, which I know most of you are. Let's go find the Chupacabras. What picks do they have? They have the Assassins and Venom, so they have number 2, and then they have mine, which will be late first. Should be. Um, I got knocked in the semis to the Stallions. So it should be around 15, 16. So could you imagine they add these pieces? This is inside information. This is breaking news. I'm going to tell you who will be drafted to these guys. Not really, but yes. Alessandro's going to go number 2. He's got to. Okay? You saw him in the finals. This guy can score. He's an 89 overall. Come on. If he doesn't go he should be going number 1 in my opinion. I like Josh Robinson a lot. Josh Robinson is my preferred center, even though obviously Honcho's a better person, better human being. I just don't think Robinson wins you ball games. Like, he doesn't lose you ball games because he's a really good center. I just think it's really hard for centers to win you ball games. And at the number 1 overall pick, that's what you're looking for, is somebody to win you ball games. Okay? And then imagine later in the draft, they're able to pick up somebody who slides like a Kiere Prince. Honestly, I think that's realistic. Kiere not too active in our chats all the time, so he kind of slides under the radar. But when you watch him play, and when it comes time to upgrade and grind, he's there. All right, this guy was an 80 overall in college by the end of the season, and that was with starting late and having to be benched the second half. So you could be very well looking at a situation like this. They struggled to score last season. That's gone. Okay, let's look at the potential of this lineup. Alessandro. The thing I love about Alessandro is he's also a facilitator. He can take over a game and score, or he could get Darnell Turner hot. I absolutely love Alessandro with this number 2 pick. It's got to be him. And then you throw Kiere off the bench. I mean, Cassius used to be a point. He could also play shooting guard. And Kiere could move into that starting lineup by time the season's over. Because Kiere being 6'11", I mean, that'd be a tall lineup. You got Alessandro, and then 6'9", 6'11", 6'11", 7'2". I'm loving this. I think the Chupacabras are immediate contenders next season. And honestly, probably a favorite. So let's say that's my recommendation of who they should pick. I don't think they need another big man. And my reasoning is how deep the free agents are. They could easily, like, this big man duo's fine. Why fix it? Why fix what's not broken? Go out and grab a 78 to 80 overall in the second round. There's a lot of them out there. Or hope that maybe a user player slides, then you trade up into the second. Or go into free agency and pick up a low overall center to come off the bench. Just make sure they have tendencies that don't force up a lot of shots. Let's look at the Chupacabras. Do not have a second round pick, so that will hurt them to fill this depth. Let me look at this salary cap channel again. Okay. What I'm looking at here is how aggressive can they be in free agency? What kind of money are they going to have? Right now they're at 145 out of 150, but they're losing 10, 20, 30, 40. So they're going to be at 105 out of 150. They're going to have 45 million to play with. They could get one superstar and then sign a whole bunch of vet minimums. Could you imagine? Oh, okay. I'm starting to get excited. Could you imagine this? I'm the Choops. Let's go to these free agent teams real quick. I mean, Dante Martin Jr., he's making only 5 mil a year. If the Choops somehow got Vern and then traded Dante because of how good he played last season for like a low overall center and a second, I'd pay that. I'd pay you Chris Richardson and a second round pick for Dante Martin Jr. right now. Okay, let me think more about other options. Khalil Fox or right here. 45 million man, Nate Dickerson. I mean, I'm just thinking you go all out, make sure to get one player. Let's go Nate because you know no, I'm gonna go crazy, and I'm gonna go with what I would like, what I'm getting excited for. Okay, so this is what I'm getting excited for here. You go out and you sign Vern Beard, who just played so well for the Dragons last season. Now you got a backup point guard. Okay, that leaves you with an extra point guard in Dante Martin Jr. One, you can keep him and move him to shooting guard, or Vern to shooting guard, whichever one, because he played great last year. Or you can ride Dante Martin Jr.'s momentum, hope that he was a 1 year wonder, because he has had bad seasons in the past. Take him, maybe land. I mean, I'm just going to go with my team because I know I would make this trade. I know I would make this trade with him right now. Richardson and a second round pick. So with that second round pick, what pick would I have in the second round? Like I said, I mean, I'm not going to be the only GM willing to move on Dante Martin Jr. I know that. So he might get more value, but rather than sitting here speculating for hours, I'm just going to go with what I know could happen. You land a Chris Richardson, who's a 7-2 sniper. And then with your second round pick, I got to go see, I got to look in that channel again, what second round pick I would even have to offer so that I can speculate who we could draft. None. So that trade can't happen. Sorry. But let's just say I had a second, okay? Let's say I had my second. Let's just pretend, okay? Because he could find another GM that could do this deal with him. Middle, I mean, and I've also been looking at trading up for seconds. So let's say I do end up with a second, and I can make this trade, okay? We're okay. We're pretending, all right? Just cool, settle down. That's all I'm saying. Settle down. People like Ben Adams might be there early in the second. People like, if we get into these AIs, let me go to Team USA. They've got all the better AIs right now. Early in the second, most of these AIs should be available. So let's say, I mean, early in the second, honestly, one of these guys might be available. But let's just say they're not. Let's say these guys get overdrafted and go uh, late first, early second, and the Chupacabras aren't able to nail one. I mean, let's say they go best available just for trade bait reasons. Xander Blue, he's 6'10", small forward slasher, been scoring like crazy. I mean, look at how I just built the squad. Vern Beard, Xander Blue, Richardson, Kiere, and Tyson Anthony off the bench. Wow. You got either Kiere or Xander who's playing power forward in this lineup. And you got to remember this lineup, Kiere ends up being a 90 by the end of the fudging season because this man can grind. And he probably ends up being a starter. Their options are endless. I mean, Darnell Turner, he's a 92 overall. He's making like 25 mil. In this situation, with what I just did, I might not need him. I honestly might not need him. Vern Beard might be a 90 by the end of the season as well. Alessandro would be maxed by the beginning of the season. Let's say I then make one more move and I trade away Darnell, and then Vern Beard ends up being in my starting lineup. The type of value that I think Darnell could bring back for you could be late first and a player who's looking like late first right now. I mean, okay, well, this couldn't be any better. Couldn't be any better. Talons. They have a late first round pick. So let's say I then make a move. I'm just having fun with this now, guys. I'm sorry if you're not enjoying it. At this point, I forgot that I'm streaming. I'm honestly just going with the flow, having some fun. At this point, I'm the Talons. Like, I'm talking to the Talons about trading up into the first round for one of their players to grab another user player. I might say, hey, throw me Roberto Cortez and your late first round pick. You can have Darnell Turner. Okay, on paper, you're like, what? Why would I give up a 92 overall for an 83 in a late first? Okay, remember if you draft, let's say you pull through this, and then in that late first, 15 to 16 range. Let me look at my team right now. I could really use a shooting guard because I prefer Vern to be off my bench. But I also could use a power forward because Roberto Cortez. I mean, Roberto could play shooting guard. I'm starting to get into a position here where my positions are conflicting each other, so I might need to make one more trade to move Roberto. But he's a 3 and D guy. That's why I like him coming from the Talons. But the whole point of this is with that late first round pick, these are the type of players that I think I could be grabbing potentially. I don't want to give away my draft philosophy here, but one guy that I do think that is being slept on hard, Alex Hayes. This guy's got Patreon now. He's 6'6" shooting guard that's a sharpshooter, and he's active, and he's got Patreon, so he's going to be getting points. Okay, same boat as Alex Hayes is this man here. And as much as I love me some Alex Hayes, this guy is being slept on even harder than Alex Hayes. I gotta find him. Guys, this is a mess. This is a mess. It's Ben Adams. Wherever Ben Adams is. Oh, I was at the bottom. Oops. Ben Adams, okay? So let me tell you the story about Ben Adams. He's a 76 overall that declared for the draft. You're like, what? Why? This is Jay Blinko's player. Literally nobody in this league, not even Carter himself. Carter's inhuman, makes every single YouTube live premiere, but Jay Blinko does the same thing, and I think a little bit more. The only thing Carter has Jay on is Carter's Patreon. So no matter what, if Carter has a busy week, he's still going to be getting them points. But irregardless, Jay Blinko, if you look at his points total page, it's always in the 2000s. It's like thousands to 2000s. And then you're like, okay, but what if he focuses on Jay Blinko? Okay, I'm moving the mic closer to my mouth. I want to make sure you guys hear that. He can't. He can't. He can't focus on Jay Blinko anymore because he's maxed. He's got Jay Blinko's a 92 overall, guys. Ben Adams is going to be eating points for breakfast. Anybody sleeping on this kid, just know Jay Blinko is a 92 overall. You know what? This is the state of the franchise. I mean, I can go into whatever details I want. I'm going to tell you guys how many points Jay has right now. Just a sec. My phone is not doing well. 1,470. That's where his points are. That has to go into Ben Adams because he has nobody else. Unless he randomly subscribes to Patreon and can keep Jack Boulder. As of right now, every one of those points goes straight into Ben Adams and keeps going to Ben Adams for the rest of the year. All right, back to what my focus was in the first place, though. I mean, I I hate to say that I think Brendan Woodson's gonna fall, but I think the Chupacabras could get him with their late first. This guy's a Kokomish, basically. You know he's not going anywhere in this league. He's staying. And in my opinion, he would be an amazing shooting guard for your squad. He's going to be a 90 by the end of the season. He's a 6'7" former defensive player of the year. So you add amazing offense. You add amazing defense. You keep your 3 forwards from last year. And now your bench will come in and light it up. Led by Vern Beard. You got point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. I mean, look at the potential. And that's just me spitballing. The Chupacabras actual GM is sitting over there, mouth watering with the idea of 45 mil, basically one max player. I'm cleaning this up while we finish talking, by the way, guys. His mouth has got to be watering with the idea of 45 mil to get one max player, multiple draft picks, and potentially trade bait with Darnell Turner if he wants to move him because Darnell is expensive and underperformed last season. So bottom line, I guess what I'm saying here is the state of the franchise for the Chupacabras is bright. Like extremely bright. And I don't think it's a this is my year type situation. Like this is my only year type situation. Yes, I think this is their year, but I think they're going to be around for a long time. Looking at their draft picks channel, I'm going to look at their future picks here as well. Let's look to see what they got set up for their future next year first and next year Hoopstar second. So I mean nothing special, but they have their pick for next year as well. They didn't have to give it up. And you might be saying, why are we bragging that they didn't give it up? So many teams have traded their firsts already. So it's honestly impressive to still own your draft picks with having this much talent. Like that is impressive. All right, guys. That's my state of the franchise for the Chupacabras, kind of giving you guys a sight, a little inside information into what they could become, what kind of potential they have. Remember, this is a new file, so I can't go into details as to like what their last year's stats and stuff were, although I would love to do that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, though. Drop a like, leave a comment so you guys get your points, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.